Well, hello. I made it. You made it. Let's check out who's here real quick. Uh, who do we got? Of course, worth it or not. Hey, man. Uh, Trevor. Hey, Captain Jack. Stopwatch is on. That's awesome. You must have fallen asleep up since 5:30 this morning. Trevor. No, I've been up since 3:30 this morning. Da, 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 da. Kevin is a moderator. Yeah, I made Worth It or Not a moderator because we were testing and messing around, which I'll go into in a minute about all that. I have a lot to cover in a short time to cover it, so we're going to zip through it, he said, which he never does. Good. Good day all. Do, 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 do. Somebody want to call Mrs. Basic Filmmaker and tell her to give Kev a nudge. That is freaking awesome. Well, let's do stuff then like this. Yeah, let's turn this on. Ho! What the heck just happened, huh? Trevor, call Mrs. Basic Filmmaker and give Kev a nudge. Kevin just lets me think I'm God, worth it or not. Captain Jack, John Brown. Hey, man. It's perfect Saturday. Only left channel working? No. No, no, no. 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 Don't even tell me that. Oh, you're right, man. It did it again. It reset. That should have fixed it. Wow. Or that. Or that. I turned them all into mono. So it should be fine now. What you think? Where'd you get that glorious music? Pedantic Dan? Perfect Sunday. Hello. Only left channel working. I think I fixed that. I already have GoPros, and I think it would go. Where'd you get the glorious music? I got that from. Where did I get that? Premium Beat. La 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 la. Hello, Ken. Hello, Captain Jack. Left channel working. New chat window. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got some bling going on here. Woo, look at that stuff. Wee. I'll cover all that. Captain Jack. Only left channel working. I should have fixed that. Excuse me. Frizzlev, hello. Shiznuts. Hey, man. Hey, mate. Captain Jack. Oh, new chat window. Blah, blah, blah. Shiznuts. Chat. Lorette. Sounds working now. Good. Yeah. I've been playing around, doing a lot of stuff, and it was getting a bit crazy. Hello, everyone. So this particular live stream is going to get interesting. Couple things. Let me go over to my web here. I have some questions that I'm not going to put up on the screen because one person I don't want to, and the other person I didn't have their permission. Real quick one. He asks, love your videos. Thank you. Just watched Affiliate Hack. That's a affiliate thing I did. You remember we were talking about affiliates in the last live stream, and then I made a video about that, how you could genius link them and tie them all together and just go out. His question is, it's Mark. I was wondering where to begin with affiliate marketing, knowing what you know now. If you were going to start from scratch tomorrow, where would you go to learn? Wow. Where would I go to learn? Where would I go to learn? I have a course. It's $10,547.69 on sale. It's normally $1 million. And I teach you how to do that. I'm just joking. I don't have a course that expensive yet. Where would you learn? Man, this is a tough one. I'll try and answer this quickly. There are a bajillion, zillion people out there that are into this is how you do affiliate marketing, and this is how you do marketing, and this is how you do sales, and this is how you do that. And you can spend money in courses and everything else. I would really start by taking, excuse me, I'll get into why my voice is fragged in a minute. I would really just start with Amazon. Really, I would start with Amazon, or I would start with B&H. It depends what your genre is, like you're into. All car people are going to like cringe now. You're into car parts and stuff. Mopar or something like that. And then you like get with these people and like if that's what you're into, and you just keep working it. Let's try this car part place and this car part place, and let's try whatever other car part places there are, Auto Parts or Us or anything else. I would just start and just learn. Really, all you're trying to do as far as affiliate marketing, remember, you're trying to help other people, number one. Number two, since you're helping other people and you're giving them advices, what you recommend as someone who's more knowledgeable than they happen to be. Number two, then number three, why not send them someplace with your recommendation? And why not have the company say, oh, that's awesome, man. We really appreciate you sending us these people who wouldn't normally come to us with a recommendation, and we're going to give you a little change and not charge the person. I would just start doing that. And don't get all frustrated if you join up with Amazon and you go, oh, well, they disapproved me. But so what? You know, go to someplace else. For camera and stuff, my main places are Amazon, B&H, Adorama, and I just got on with DVE store up in Washington. Cool folks. Anyway, there you go. That's that question. Next question, which is going to lead us into this. Let me check over here on the comments and see what type of interesting stuff. Glorious Music answered. Hello, Ken, Captain Jack. Hello, Freezelive. Hey, Shiznuts. How's it hanging? Captain Jack, new chat window. We did that. Trevor, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Watch the bandit run. Oh, yeah. This is, we'll get into that too. So I don't repeat myself. It's in stereo now. Excellent. How did the Dell thing turn out if you feel like talking about it? Man, thanks for bringing that up. Damn you, Andre. You don't know the story before we get going real quick. If you don't know the story, this computer sitting right here, this dude, this is a white. They just gave me white. Or thought I was getting black, but it's cool. I like it. This laptop cost me $1 gazillion. It's an Alienware Area 51M with 64 gigs of memory and 99K super duper processors, and there's a 2080 graphics card. It's like it cost me if you just bought it from Dell normally it would cost you $6,000. I made a deal with Dell and got it for $4,500. So I had this water right here, sitting down here, and I went to grab my microphone like this, and this sucker, which was filled to here, was unfilled from there right on the freaking keyboard. In fact, I'll show you some more fancy stuff. Oh, look at that. So this cup here was sitting here, and I went to grab this mic, and I went like this, and it spilled directly on the keyboard. The display went out. It frazzled. It's got in the back. You can't really see it. Yeah, you can't see it. This is a powerful little beast. It's got two AC units, two power supplies. One's like a, forgive me, I'm not a technical guy. It's something like a 180 watt power supply and a 240 watt power supply, and they power the computer. And so that went, and the water spilled all over. Anyway, water spilled. It was terrible. I was thoroughly disgusted. I was thoroughly upset at myself for being such a, there it is. Let's move that. For being such a numbskull, because I know better. And Andre, bless his soul, allowed me to call him and whine at him. And anyway, I took the thing apart, and I took a hairdryer, one with a cool air, and I posted that on Twitter. Anyway, it's working now. It's great. Dell has been awesome. I told them what happened. I said, I spilled water on this and the screen is out. It's now working again. They say, we already have you logged for having this screen. We already did a remote test with you. There's something wrong with this screen down here. Yeah, there's something wrong with this screen down here. Although it's fine, so we're still going to send somebody out, and we're still going to replace your screen. I'm like, you guys are awesome, except not until May 18th or something. That's my screen. Okay. Hey, we need a studio tour sometime. Funny you should ask that. I was going to go into that just a little bit. 360 camera. Yeah, you're talking with each other. Cool. I'm just going to bypass those. Sorry. We need a studio tour while looking sharp. Looks like the ATEM is providing a better signal. Oh, no, sir. I'm going to show you what's happening. Martin, hello. Oh, Arnold, sorry I didn't welcome you. Welcome, Arnold. Martin, evening, sir. Kevin of YouTube. How you doing? I'm doing fine. Okay. Oh, it's Martin. Oh, I know Martin. Hello, Martin. Martin's awesome. He's been a long time subscriber. Okay. So, I had this other email, and I'm not going to tell you who it's from. It's an old friend of mine from 4 or 5 or 6 years. I guess, I mean, we actually haven't like been face to face. And I'm not going to mention his name because he's a TV personality, and he's awesome. And he brought up this question to me, which is interesting. Nice guy, beautiful guy, love this guy. From my email that I sent out weekly, and he said something about dipping my foot into live streaming. And I'd like to say, just because you can live stream doesn't mean you should live stream. I was like, okay. It has its value in taking live questions and such, but I've seen dozens of people doing live streams that were dreadful. He's probably talking about mine. As they tried to figure out how to run their gear, omitted their way through material they were supposed to present and pass the whole thing off as, well, that's live TV for you. Now, this guy's a TV person now, and he's got some serious experience. No, it's not live TV. It's bad TV. Then he says, having followed you for years and some other stuff I can't talk about, I know you'll be prepared. There are pitfalls to be avoided, so a person doesn't fall into the spell of it so much easier because there's no post-production. True that. I think there's value in clicking on one of your videos, getting interesting, valuable information presented in a concise, intelligent way. To take 45 minutes or an hour or 90 minutes of someone's time just to go live, the content really has to be there. And it isn't there for probably 90% of the live streams I watch. In fact, that might be your angle. You decided to do live shows to illustrate how it needs to be done properly rather than rambling on and on and on, which this email has done. So I'm going to stop now with best intentions and respect this person. This guy's awesome, and I love this, and I respect this guy. He does live TV. He kind of knows what he's talking about. And so that brought the question in my head. I wonder if people get what I'm doing here, which ties into what I'm doing here, which ties into what I'm doing here, which ties into what I'm doing there, and which ties into a bunch of other stuff like what I'm doing over there. You follow so far? Okay, good. So here's the deal. He's totally right. 1.1, and I should keep my eyeballs on the comments because someone's going to say, hey, you can't hear, you can't see, you can't do this. Yeah. Your audio is a bit low. Thank you. I have my powered speakers on max and you sound like a mouse. Squeaky. Okay, good. That's good information. I am going to up things right now. Whoa. That should be a lot louder. I don't know if that's enough louder, but if that's a lot louder, let me know. If that's not loud enough, please let me know because I can up the loudness and that's fine with me. But thank you, Captain Jack. ATEM Mini Pro, see your review. Hi, Keith. Arrived late, no problem. Okay, good. So we went through the live stream thing. I got this email from this TV personality that I know for a very long time, and he's like, why are you live streaming? I know you provide information. Not everybody should live stream. 90% of them, blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to go through this and probably toss this up. Hi, John Brown. And toss this up, which is, well, let me start. Let me back up. Okay, too long. Let me start again. I found myself doing live streams, and the reason why I started doing, oh, great. That is louder. Hey, Curtis. Welcome, man. Thank you for joining us. And if anybody, excellent, you might be hitting the limiters a bit. Okay, thank you. I am going back down to about there. or I could pull the microphone more away. Yeah, I did the usual. I was messing around with my stuff before I live streamed. Doot, doot. Yep, I'm hitting the limiters, but okay. Let me know. Somebody say something if it's too loud or it's limiting or it's cracking, because this is how I learn. Yeah, the Judd's here. So if you have any question whatsoever about sound, at Curtis Judd, and just type it in there and get in. It's a big, long conversation, and that way I can just talk for a really long time, and Curtis can say, thanks, Kev, you son of a... Except, if it was any louder, I'd have to turn it down. Okay. I'm gonna, this seems really loud to me, guys. I'm gonna knock this down. It's okay to hit the limiters. Really? Let's see here. Curtis will not find that funny. That's why you spent all that money on the Mix Breathe 3. Yeah, because Curtis made me. It's a joke we have. I love Curtis. You have no idea how much I love Curtis. I don't want to go into it because everybody's going to be like, oh, you're in love. You know, you got the bro love going on. Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, the whole thing about streaming. So I set up streaming here first on this channel to support members of the university, period, the end. Then I went, hey, this is kind of cool. I'm going to invite a few other people, and if other people come in, then not Curtis, not like that. Then, oh yeah, I should show him my swanky little thing, huh? Yeah, check that out, bad boy, huh? What do you think about that? I got a little chat thing going on. Let's go, let's go. Hey, how's the, there we go. How's the ATM Mini Pro? Well, when we see your review, yeah? Yeah, check that out, huh? Anyway, back to the subject at hand, because I want to go into this. This guy's saying to me, this TV personality that I know, and he's very right, is, you know, 90% of the live streams, they kind of suck, and they're blah, blah, and it's only TV, and it's coming from a TV personality, and he knows about this. So I started this channel to do live streaming for university members. That's how I started it. Then other people came along, which is cool, and wow. Not like, I don't know what wow. Oh, my little cool thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's just cool. So then I said, okay, I'm just going to do live streaming once a week and get into it. Then I said, you know, what I really want to do at some point is I want to live stream on my main channel. So I'm going to use this channel, still talking to people and answering questions and getting this thing going, and all that, supporting the university members. But I want to move it over to my main channel if it works over here, if it makes sense, and all that. So then I got on the live streaming, and then I got the A10 Mini Pro, I got the Stream Deck, I got this, the mics and everything else. And I thought to myself, well, this is really cool, because what I can do, there's the, that's the current deal right there. It's just basically a really, really, really nice camera, floating HDMI. But anyway, we'll get back to that. So then I thought, what's going to be really cool is, scratch that. So then I went and I ran into this guy named iSpike. And iSpike's like, woo, what the heck? He's crazy. He's got like whole television studio setup and everything else. And I went, so why don't I go to someone who does something really cool and learn from them? So I connected up with iSpike, and he connected up with me. And this in a second, this yesterday, today's Saturday, Friday, I got on a call with a technical guy that helps him from Curtis and Andre and you think I can talk? I got on a call live stream with this guy while he helped me set up things from 7 a.m. in the morning till 9:30 p.m. at night. So I don't want to ever hear how long I can talk. Suckers. So anyway, this guy, and I'll show you in a minute what this guy did to my OBS, and it's going to blow your freaking mind. I can't show you everything. Some of it's proprietary. Moving along. So I thought, this is brilliant. Now I'm learning about live streaming. I'm learning about the Pro. I'm learning about the Stream Deck. I got all my audio stuff. What I can do is I can take, like this little dude up here. See that? See the camera, and on top you got that Mars 400S. It is a wireless. And from there, it goes down here and it goes to the ATEM. And I went, wow, I could hook up a wireless to my studio camera. Cool. and stream it into here. I could hook up a wireless to my B-roll table and stream it into here. And then I just started getting more and more creative, going, wow, this is awesome. Because what I'm going to do and where I'm going with all this, the main reason I'm doing it is I got so much to say, and I'm tripping over my own words, because when you see this, you're going to flip out. Okay. Okay, let me just show you this. This is cool. Let me see if I got this set up right. I got to show you this. This is just unbelievably the coolest thing. This is going to blow your mind a little bit. Just don't flip out. Okay. Now you're going to get all this double stuff. What you're seeing right now is I am in OBS Studio. Many people who uses OBS are going to flip the heck out when they see this. Like, what is all this? What is this slider thingy got going on here, and this and these cool meters and stuff, and what is happening? Okay. I haven't even begun to get into this. So this guy I got with from iSpike, this guy, like, he makes nuclear rocket scientists look like they're in grade school. The number of things that this guy does, and I can't talk about him, and I can't talk about what he did, and I can't talk about all the proprietary stuff he's in, but he helped iSpike, which is why I went to iSpike to ask iSpike, and he turned me on to this guy. And this guy sat there for 14 and a half hours with me on the phone and did stuff. So I'm sitting here with OBS. I got all this stuff going on, and he's like, why'd you buy the A10 Mini Pro? Like, why did you buy that? And I'm like, well, you know, because, let me go here, because it's cool, and because I got all this, and I can switch things, and I can do all that. And he's like, dude, forget Streamlabs, although some people like it, I get it. Forget this, forget that, just forget all that stuff, and let me give you the keys to the kingdom, and I'm only helping you. Now, don't ask me who this guy is. I can't tell you. Don't ask me if he can help you. A lot of this stuff in here he did on the side, but I'll get to that in a minute because I want to show you this cool stuff. So anyway, here I am sitting in here, and the first thing he did was he gave me this interface. I mean, look at this slider, transition slider. What? A little logo, transitions. He set all my meters up, all my this, my scenes, my sources, my stuff like that. He set up my little chat thing, which is kind of cool. See that flow up? By the way, I'm controlling everything right now from my iPad. Every bit of this is all on my iPad with these little buttons and stuff. I can't really show you this because that's a whole nother deal. Like, I could sit back with my iPad here downstairs in the next room by my B-roll table, or downstairs eating, and I could control all my cameras, all my OBS, all my chat. Like, here, watch this. Here comes the chat. Boosh. Here goes the chat. Boosh. Here's the main camera. Here, let's go to the iPad. Boosh. Unbelievable, isn't it? So, that was mind-blowing. That was the first mind-blowing thing that was going on, was all this interface, and he set all this stuff up, and he figured out all the iPhone stuff, and he figured out everything. And then he hooked me up with all these NDI sources and everything else, so I could go over to, for instance, I could go over to my iPad, and right now, what that's streaming on is that's streaming from my phone wirelessly. And I was like, okay, I did that before. I did the whole NDI thing, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then I grabbed, this gets really good. Bear with me. Where did I put it? Oh. And then I went, hey, I can stream from my phone. I can also stream using NDI from my iPad. And I went, hey, what if I did this? What if I went to this little dude and I started NDI up on this little itty bitty tiny dude, and I just threw an NDI in there? Like, would that actually work? Like, could I actually do that? And I went, okay, let's check this out. This little tiny iPod, that looks terrible, doesn't it? But it's an iPod. I mean, give me a break. This little tiny iPod, a little janky, but it's the iPod and it's a connection. This little tiny iPod is streaming stuff. So now I'm sitting here streaming stuff from this little tiny iPod wirelessly, and from the phone. I could connect as many devices as my Wi-Fi will handle. I have really great Wi-Fi, but remember, it's Wi-Fi internally to the computer, not from the outside. So that was cool too. Okay, next. You may have noticed, hopefully I have this set up right, you may have noticed that I'm streaming in 4K. Because the way he's got it set up is it takes my 1080 signal from there, my 1080 signal from there, and my 1080 signal from there. And what it does, using some magic that he performed in OBS, it takes that 1080, it upstreams it to YouTube, and YouTube loves 1080 videos, and it processes 1080 videos great into 4K. So I'm streaming 4K, and I'm not even shooting 4K. I'm like, this whole day was like, what? And then remote this and remote that and everything else. So then, oh, we're so not done. So then let's go back to the screen here. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's cool. So let's go back to this guy. And I'm switching cameras. It's cool. I can switch cameras around. Boom. I can remotely switch. I can turn on my little bot message down at the bottom. Hey, la 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 la. And it does all that stuff like it did at the beginning of the video. And chat and all that other stuff. So, there's my chat. Okay. Following me so far. Good. So, got the whole 4K thing. So then he went, yeah, ATM's cool because what it's going to do for you is it's going to give you these 4 HDMI ports. And what you can do is, since you have all these brain-dead HDMI transfers, wireless things, which I use plugs in. I hate batteries. I can go from that camera into the receiver and into this as one. I can go from my B-roll table with one into a receiver over here into port 2. I can go from this camera over here wirelessly. I can put that camera anywhere into another port over here. I can hook up one over on the camera over there and go wirelessly over here. Okay, you follow me so far? So now I can switch between the B-roll table, and I can switch from here, and I can switch from over there, and I can switch from wherever I put that camera, I can switch from there. So that's camera coverage all over. I may even put one up there. Follow me so far? So, since the HDMI signal is carrying the sound, the audio, like right now, it's going into the Mix Pre 3, and that's going through that camera, and then that signal's coming back. Brilliant. So I have this awesome Deity lapel mic. So if I have the awesome Deity lapel mic, and I'm running it into my Mix Pre 3, let me go back here so you can see this because it's really cool. Since I'm sitting here and running it into the Mix Pre 3, the lapel via the transmitter and the Deity Connect system, that means that no matter where I am, if I'm wearing a lapel that sounds awesome, I can go over there and I can start everything up and I can just go boom and start my camera and lights and my camera, and I don't even have to do anything. I don't have to hit record on anything. And then I come over here to this other B-roll table over that away, and I have my camera set up, and I don't have to hit record or anything. And then I come over to here where I'm sitting doing this, and I don't have to do anything. And my lapel is wirelessly, my awesome lapel is wirelessly, and you can't see it, and I got movement, and I can go in there and shoot and do the B-roll and come over here behind the computer and do the tutorials, and all the audio is awesome because it's going in the Mix Pre, and all the video is awesome because it's being upscaled to 4K from the B-roll table, from here, from my tutorials, from going to my screen, and from over there, all in one shot, which is freaking awesome. And wait, there's more. One of the reasons why I bought the A10 Mini, yeah, you can see that. One of the reasons why I bought the A10 Mini was to, I wanted that switching stuff. You know, you get like 4 little switching things. And you can do this. You could switch between things and transition, which is really cool. Yeah, right. Now the A10 Mini Pro, one thing I'll warn you about that I don't like about it, one, is that there's no on and off switch. Really. So, this guy, you either unplug it or you unplug it from the wall. You don't turn it off. There's no on-off switch. Now, this seems to me like a bit of a limitation. Just saying. That just seems like a bit of a limitation to me personally. You know, there's no on and off switch. Okay, so the iStream, the Stream Deck doesn't have any on and off switch either. I get it, but it's connected via USB, and when you power up your computer, it starts. This has no on and off switch. It doesn't work that way. You have to unplug it, or you have to unplug it from the wall, or it just stays on. That's fine. Okay, whatever you can. I'm going to get a remote clicker. That's the one thing that's really I don't like. The other thing that's really cool, it has a built-in streamer. So I could not stream using my computer. I could stream, let's go to this view, not stream using my computer. I could stream right from the ATM Mini Pro direct. You hook up an Ethernet cable and you tell the ATM and you go connect to YouTube and you're all good and everything's cool and you got your feeds. Well, I'm running this in OBS, and as you can see, there's a reason why. But here's what's really cool. Watch this. I don't have everything set up yet. So I went along and he said, you know, don't worry about it, dude. If you want to do that, what you can do is you can switch to this view that we got all set up, which is your switcher view. So let me switch to that. So here I am. This is my preview. This is what you're seeing now. Now, obviously, this is the screen, and if I switch to something, it's going to switch away from that. So here's my, yeah, I was just Skyping with some here. Let's take a look at this guy. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. There's my other camera. I haven't switched to it yet. But there's that camera. If you can see that, there's that camera sitting right there. That's one view, and it's from my phone. And so I can switch all over heck and back doing this. I could switch to this. I could switch to this. And when I double click, it gives you that view like this. So I'm sitting here now, and you're seeing the program window, and you're seeing what I'm doing. And I have 24 slots in this thing. So now, escape. So now I have a switcher that I can have, and I don't have to try and use the ATEM Mini Pro to have a somewhat of a switcher, and it somewhat works. I'm not digging on the ATEM Pro. It's an awesome piece of gear. I highly suggest you get it if you want it. But I'm blown away by what I didn't know what OBS does. So anyway, back to this. If I'm sitting here with all this capability to do that, I can go in there and go click, click, click in the studio, turn on the lights. Like I start OBS, because here's the cool thing. Right over here, which I'm not going to do right now, right there, you'll see a recording button. Now, if I weren't streaming, and I could start recording now, I'm not going to. I don't know what's going to tax. I'm sitting here with being able to record my incoming HD streams, 1080 streams, into 4K on my computer in MP4 or HVEC5 or something at whatever bit rate I want, right? And so if I go into the other studio and I have that, now I'm sitting here with his iPad. So I'm in the other studio. I hit record over here. I'm in the other studio. I go, okay, I'm going to switch to that. And I'm recording with my lapel and everything's fine. Now I'm going to go check out this thing over at the B-roll table. I switched to the B-roll table camera and I'm still recording. I got great audio. I switched to here. I switched to there. I switched to this screen. And there you go. So that's the short version of crazy stuff that happened to me yesterday in 14 and a half hours. This dude was on my computer and doing stuff, and it really, really, really blew my mind. I was blown away. Blown away. Cool? Okay, good. We'll go on to the next thing in a moment. I haven't been paying attention to the comments, so let's go pay attention to the comments so I'm not a bad person. Where did I leave off? Curtis Judd hit here. Hi from Australia. Hey, Steven. Wow. He likes that. What's a good mic? Oh, yeah. It's Captain Jack. Cool. iSpike is crazy awesome. Yeah, he is. It's not everybody's cup of tea. He's not necessarily... he's not everybody's cup of tea. I went... Like, if I wanted to know about marriage, I would go to me. I wouldn't go to someone who was divorced 5 times. Sorry, divorced people. If I wanted to know how to live stream, I go to someone who does it really well. Not their content, not their personality, not the music in the 5 hours, but he's got the whole setup. So I went to him and went, hey, how the heck do you do this? If I want to know about audio, who do I go to? I go to Curtis Judd. If I wanted to know about DaVinci Resolve, I go to someone who knew that. If I wanted to do donations at a university and like millions of dollars of donations, I'd go to the Basic Filmmaker University. Okay, so let's see. We got take my money, please. I want that OBS set up. Yeah, no kidding, dude. Yeah. This is not all. Yeah, totally, dude. I wish this was for the world. I wish people could go out. This guy, like I said, if all the people at NASA who are like trying to fire people and start people on the Mars and start a colony and everything else, and you took this guy, he's like thinking 50 years ahead of everybody else. And again, I can't go into it, and I can't believe I ran into this guy, and I owe him a huge debt of gratitude. And he so far has only done these things for iSpike and for me, and there's reasons why, and it wasn't monetary. It was because we're both the most awesome people in the world other than you. Now, there's no secret. I just don't want to get into it. So anyway, we got some more comments coming up here. Let me turn that off. I'll turn it back on. I'm confused. If I have the Deity D3 Pro Canon SL3, would the Pro 3 mixer help me for strictly recording a YouTube channel? Oh, he's talking to Curtis. Cool. Yeah, please talk with each other, have conversations. If you got Curtis's ear, man, go for it. I don't care. That's cool. That's bad. I can't scroll all the way down to show these comments. I'm still working on this, but Captain Jack, just put the ATEM on a power strip and flip the power switch. That's what I use here for my super duper awesome studio. Absolutely. So one of the things that I don't even want to show this to you. I got a bajillion cords. Yeah, I'll show it to you. I got the phone running. Why don't I do that? Let me switch to Let me switch to this guy. So I'm going to go grab this. Hopefully you can still hear me. If you can't, I'm sorry. I'm going to go grab this guy. It's just my phone running NDI. So here's my camera. Love this camera. Love this cam. That's running HDMI Mars 400. Now that goes wirelessly. That comes from the camera into here. Doot. Right there. 1080 signal. That is running wirelessly down here. I just stuck it down there. And then that runs into the back of the A10 Mini Pro. Now look at this over here. Look at these cords. Look at it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's I don't know how many cords are going over there. If you look over there, there's like 5 or 6 or 8 cords over there. And if you look under here, there's another bunch of cords, and there's cords and cords and cords and stuff everywhere. There's cords over there and everything else. I don't know how I get away with this in this house. So what I'm doing is oh, I love that thing, man. I love this iPad control. What I'm doing is I'm getting power strips that handle all this load, and they're surge protected and everything else. Whoever built this house, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, extension cord 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I have 23 electrical cords plugged into the walls, pulling electricity. Never had a problem. Never had a short circuit. Never had a whatever that calls, blows things up. So, someone call the fire department. Whoever built this house, they're awesome. I have so many things plugged, and that's not even including the studios, like even crazier. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about the live stream setup. I just wanted to show you this unbelievable, crazy awesomeness. You don't have to get an ATEM Mini Pro to do switching. You do have to understand and learn OBS, and it ties in all sorts of things. For instance, I even have things tied in like this. Like if I get a subscriber, here's a little test. Diddly-ding. I should probably switch to the main so you can see that. I showed this last week. I get a subscriber. It shows up a little thing. I get a super chat for the other channel. Diddly-ding. Comes up and says, woo, and it makes the zombie run. And then if you become a YouTube member, which I'm not even sure I'm going to do that yet, it does this little dancey, smancy, whatever thing. And there's a few other things, like you can donate through Streamlabs. Not if you get a super chat, it'll work. There's no super chat on here. You donate through Streamlabs. Does this donation thing, and that's how that works. Anyway, that's really cool. I'm really impressed with this. This guy's just like blew me away. It just blew me away. So the question where this all started from was the fact that where this all started was the fact that I'm not doing this live streaming to be like someone like iSpike who does a show or the nightly news. I'm doing this live stream to help the members and to make my background recording and everything else better. I think Curtis is doing that to some degree too, in which he switched to here, boom, in which he went through and he put a camera over where he's sitting there talking, so you can see the product he's doing. Anyway, I'm going to be all wireless and recording from here in 4K, no matter what camera I have, with one mic, and I'm totally mobile. I can go outside. I already tried that. That phone over there that's sitting there right now streaming, this guy that's sitting over there, I actually had that downstairs out back by that waterfall I have, and I was watching it. It was a little choppy because of the Wi-Fi signal, but it was awesome. Okay, back to El Comentos. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it makes OBS, it really does make OBS look fantastic. It's incredible, and for a guy like me, I wear glasses, so if I take off my glasses, I see great close up, like really great, and right about where I get to my monitor, it starts getting fuzzy. When I put on my glasses, right about here, I need a new prescription. It's hard to see the little text. Now the text is big. I mean, look at this. This text is just huge the way this thing works. Let me get over to here to the not that one, dude. I want the screen. Sorry. I'm still working with the buttons. I mean, look at this. It's huge. And it's red, and I can see my meters, and I can see what it's all doing, and this is the best. This is absolutely, without a doubt, having this switcher in here with 24 of these is just absolutely the best thing ever. I just, oh, it's so good, dude. I just love this thing. I just absolutely love this. Let's see who else we got here. Yep. Yeah, take my money. Like I said, this is proprietary stuff. This is behind the scenes stuff. I was lucky enough to be able to hook up through this guy through iSpike, and he was lucky enough to hook up through this guy. He's not for sale. He isn't selling his services. I just happen to be lucky. I couldn't even sit down, although I get it, and he walked me through it. I couldn't tell you how to do this. I have no idea how to do this. If you can figure it out, well, then figure it out and make videos and whatever. Yeah, worth it or not, me too. So we wrecked Keith Norris. That's a Curtis question. Just put the ATEM on a mini power strip. Yes, absolutely. I'm getting a new power strips. My friend's uncle is selling that same Canon video camera for $200. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I understand this. Did I lose it? I lost it. Rucka, bucka, 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 bucka. Getting through the comments. Where'd it go? My friend, la 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 la. My friend is selling that same Canon video camera for 200 bucks. There is no way. Now, if he is, let me know, because that Canon is an XF400 and it's a couple years, I think 2 or 3 years old, and that sucker costs $24.99. This isn't like a little Canon and whatever. This is the 4K with the night stuff, and you can dial in the aperture, and it goes all manu, and it has an excellent Zeiss lens on it. It does excellent, perfect zoom. Everything you could do in a DSLR, you can do in that camera. A nice like a couple $1,000 DSLR you can do in that camera. Plus, it has 2 XLR audio jacks in, HDMI out, and I think the other version that I didn't get and I wish has SDI and all this stuff. So if your friend has that camera for $200, tell him not to sell it. Tell him I'll give him $400, like right now, like absolutely right now. I will do that. Where do we go? I don't like this jumpy thing. Still working on it. Friend's uncle, Martin. The short version. Martin. Yes, the short version. What else we got in here? It's still jumping around. I'm still figuring this out. Delete, delete, delete. The short version. Yep. Martin, yep. Walter, that's why I learn about YouTube from you. From me? From Curtis? I don't know. Thank you. Oh, wow. iSpike. Hey, man. It looks like you came around. Good day. Good day, Kevin, mate. You rock. Currently live, and we'll call in after my rock show on Facebook. Great camera rig. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, this guy, like I said, he's not... I didn't go to him to go, oh, I want to be a personality. I want to be a TV show. He's on a different path. He's trying to do a show and build up a show live streaming like you would a TV show. And it's gonna eventually blow up, and he's dialing it all in with the technology, and now he's moving his studio around. He's got people looking at him and stuff. That is not my gig. I made my channel to help people. Like, don't come to me and ask me to explain a microphone and what the SPL value is and the plus or minus and da-da-da. Like, I'll do sometimes go in the specs, but I go for people who are like, I don't quite get this. And they come to me and they look at the camera or they look at the lights and they're like, oh, that's how you do a 3-point lighting. I didn't know that. Or they come to me and go, oh, that's how you hook up OBS and a live stream and stuff like that. And then they start learning and they get it, and they're not buried in all these words. Then, once they understand the basics and some microphones and stuff like that, then they'll go over and find Curtis. And Curtis, I'm not saying bad Curtis, I'm saying good Curtis, and Curtis brings them up to the next level. And he'll explain, who's the other guy? Sorry, I really need more sleep. I can't remember what his name is. He does sound speeds. Like, these guys will go through, and they'll take you to the next level. Now they'll explain to you what SPL is and what that means and how you use it. And Curtis will get into like the Mix Pre 3, and he has courses over there and how to dial it all in. I don't really do that. I get all the guys coming up the line and go, I'm afraid to ask someone, like, I got this camera and like it has a big hole in it, and I don't have, is there supposed to be a lens on it? I'm like, yeah, thank you for asking. I'm that guy. I go a little bit above that, but I expect people to come watch my channel and learn or clear up things they didn't know before, or maybe they're just entertained by my stupid BS and my antics. That's just me. I expect them to move higher. I expect them to go check out Curtis and Sound Speeds and Bandrew or somebody's podcasting, or come over to my university and learn things. And I expect them to move up. I expect them to go to other channels. I expect them to learn more. I'm not trying to like hoard people. I don't do the technical stuff. That's my niche, and I don't want to get out of there. I don't want to do technical stuff. That's not why I started my channel. I don't want to go into the A10 Mini Pro, and I don't want to go into what type of cable you should use and the specifications and all that. Just get a cable like this. That's me. Okay. There you go. Okay. So that looks like my setup now. Not all the high-end gear, but the mess of cords. Yeah. I hate cords, man. I got, if you look in my other studio over there, there are no cords on the floor. There are none. They're either on the wall or they're remote AC turn on things. Turn on things and off things. I hate cords. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Get a call. I didn't think you could get a call when you were doing NDI. They just proved me wrong. Maybe I have a little thing flipped on. Okay. Anyway, what do we got? All those cords need battery power. Yeah, Gary. I detest batteries. When I used to do stuff around, it was always batteries. If I'm going to run that camera, I'm going to plug it into the wall. These HDMI transmitters, plug them into the wall. If I'm going to run that phone over there and I'm going to use it as a camera, I plug it into the wall. My lights are plugged into a wall. I just refuse to use batteries because then I'm worried about the batteries and then I have to recharge them. Even this little dude over here, this little guy right here, that little camera is sitting there with a battery grip and an adapter, and it's plugged into the wall. Because now I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I start adding all these batteries and they recharge and I'm filming stuff and they go out of power. Ugh! So when I'm here, I do it. If I'm going to go out, then I'm like, okay, I need to bring batteries. Now I need to recharge them all and I'm good. I don't like batteries. iSpike, hey man, thanks for joining us, dude. I appreciate it and thank you very much for your help and your assistance, and thank you for turning on to the person that shall not be named, tech guy. Unbelievable what he is. I mean, come on. That's freaking unbelievable, dude. I mean, come on. And he isn't even done with me yet. And I'm sitting here with controlling stuff with an iPad. And anyway, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, sir. Just, wow. iSpike's in the house. OBS is really great, dude. I agree. Hey, man. Steven, I just discovered how to do a manual transition with the slider. Not as fancy as the T-bar, but works. Yeah, OBS. I thought OBS, I was like, okay, maybe I'll go to Streamlabs. It's a little bit simpler. After this guy set this thing up, and now I get how you can set it up and what you can do. It's just amazing. Like, I mean, you saw me earlier. If you just joined us, I hooked up an iPod as a separate camera into OBS. That's crazy. I have graphics and stuff. You can do LUTs for your cameras. You can take 1080 and turn it into 4K and upload it to YouTube. And YouTube's like, woohoo, that's great. We'll make it look really pretty if you're going to upload as 4K. I mean, there's so many things that you could do. And he hasn't even scratched the surface with me. It's awesome. Captain Jack, a lavalier microphone hidden under your shirt will manage the wind. Secret is to get the placement right so you don't get a lot of clothing rustle. Or hidden under your hat if you're wearing one. Even better, no clothing rustle and no wind. Yeah, good advice. That's obviously, it's Curtis, and it's really good advice. I'm going to be showing a lot of that in my lapel thing. Not for everybody. I can't cover everything for everybody, but I'm going to be showing some of that. And I know it's been covered, but I want to show conditions where you would do that and how you would do that. And Curtis has graciously agreed to actually do the whole video for me and then give me the video. And then we're going to, on green screen, and then we're going to take him out and then we're going to replace it with me. So I think that's freaking awesome. Thanks, Curtis. I'm joking. Good advice. Agree. The fonts and color scheme is fantastic. Speaking from someone who is visually impaired. Yeah. I mean, think about it. That's just like, that's crazy stuff right there. If you're visually impaired and you have, you have something wrong with your eyes or you can't see or whatever, like as I get older, I'm not able to do it. Plus I'm 1, 2, 2.5, 3 feet away from the computer. I can't see little tiny text. I think it's great. And the color scheme is fantastic, even for people that are colorblind, because they don't see colors, but they do see hues of gray. You can mess around with that. Open source, OBS and open source software, which anyone with coding skills can modify to their needs. Absolutely. If I go in, let me show you, and I'll show you what I do real quick, and hopefully this isn't too technically blah blah'd. If I'm sitting here in OBS right now, and I have, what can I show you here? I could show you. I don't think there's any coding in here right now. There may be. Maybe. Let me see. No, I don't have any code in here, but you can if you know. Like you can go in, like on Bart's, he has over, like I used to have over here, he had that running thing of comments, which I don't like. It was too distracting for me, a running thing of comments. What he did is he went to a site and it would create what's called CSS. They're custom style sheets. It's basically HTML stuff. And then he went in and he dumped it into OBS and said, I want to create this little container that feeds from my chat. And then he takes all that code and he dumps it in there. And OBS is like, right, I'm cool. And I'll feed it to you. And that's how you do that. It's really cool. Captain Jack, is this the Canon XA35? No. This is Canon XF400. The XA35 is about, which is a nice camera, by the way. I think it's, I mean, I wouldn't mind having that a second. It's about retail about $14.99. It's pretty much a top seller. It's a great camera too. It does do 4K. It's not as good as that camera, but yeah, I mean, we can go look at it. We'll just go over here and we'll just flip to that. Boom. So here's the XA45, and oh yeah, you can do other cool things. I keep forgetting to tell you. Yeah, like you can take and capture. Well, I'm not going to do that right now. Anyway, there's the. I'll turn off this chat thing for right now. There's the XA40. 35 is the older one. Boink. 40. I'm not sure if they sell the 35 anymore. Yeah, they probably don't. Boom. XA35. Wow. What the heck is this? Walmart. Yeah, they said XA35. Jerks. Anyway, that's a nice camera. They make some really nice cameras. It's nice. And the thing about it, again, I mean, I made a video that was like, hey, look, if you're going to look at a new camera, don't listen to all your friends. DSLRs are the best thing. This is like 21st century, and these camcorders, they started video. Like DSLRs didn't do that until the Canon, I think, 5D came out, and there was some messing around with it. These guys have been doing, these camera videos, been doing this for 40 years. And if you're willing to invest in a $2,000 DSLR, and you're going to add in this, and you're going to add in audio, and you're going to add in this, look at these camcorders. Some of them are just awesome. They're like totally cool. So look at the camcorders. I was at NAB with, it was a camcorder. I think it was a Sony. It was about a $4,000, $3,500 camcorder sitting there. And some guy walks by and goes, well, I can't even believe that you brought that to a show, man. I'm like, what? They don't know. I mean, a lot of people don't know. They look and they go, oh, it's a camcorder. Well, it's not like a DSLR like all the other YouTubers use. No. Camcorders are cool, man. Camcorders are really, really cool. What else we got? Yeah, we can throw this up here. Doop, 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 doop. Let's turn our chat on. Oh, no, we got to do that. We got to do the animation, right? Okay. Where was I? 35. Curtis is helping somebody. What platform language is it developed in? I don't know. Hey, X-Men Lai. X-Men Lai. I'm sorry, dude. It's not you. It's me. I'm terrible with names. I don't know. I don't know. It's open source. You can go check out OBS and go look at the source. Now, I'm not going to mess with the source code. There are plenty of people that support this. It's been going on for years for free. You can download plugins and do all this stuff and download things where you can remote into it and all that and hook into NDI. Oh, I didn't tell you the other thing that's really awesome. Hopefully I can show this to you. This is cool too. I got to show you this. It's going to blow your mind. I almost forgot the blow your mind part. So over here, if you look at, where are you? Sorry, I'm still working on getting all this stuff going here. Schwinka. If you look over here, this is my setup, and that's kind of weird because I'm showing you my setup, which is showing my setup, which is showing me my setup. See, there's an echo when you do that. So I'm showing my setup, so there's this little infinity thing. So just disregard that. Don't get confused by that. Over here, if you'll notice down here, I have Skype tied in. So if I go to, let's say I go to Skype, and yeah. Isn't that weird? Isn't that kind of wigging you out right now? And what happens is I go over here and I say I want to, no, I don't want to do that. I go over here and I say I want to go look at the settings, right? Here I am in audio video looking at the settings. Now watch this, because I've tied in Skype into OBS when I call someone or they call me or whatever, I still got the same thing going on, and I can't show you because it'll make this go away because I'm showing you my screenshot. But what I can do is I can sit here and let's move that out of the way. I can sit here and I can do all these switches. I can switch to my other camera. I can bring my comments up. I can do all that type of stuff. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, it's not going to let me do that because then it'll switch the screen away. Anyway, I can Skype with all my comments and my transitions and my stuff and like in Skype, which is freaking awesome. Yeah, but what about Zoom? I mean, what are you going to do about Zoom? Well, same deal. What happens is, settings, video. There I am again. I'm running with Zoom through OBS. So what happens is, as I switch to different cameras and I switch to different stuff and I go to my NDI, like all that stuff is handled. And so what happens is you're using Zoom or using Skype, and on your end, and if you're recording on the other end, hopefully they have good audio going on. What happens is you're recording all that through this in 4K from Skype or Zoom using this record button while you're doing the call with all the transitions, with switching cameras and doing that and showing the B-roll table and picking up your phone and doing the NDI and everything else in Skype or Zoom. So everything you have right here you can do, and you can do it all with the iPad in Skype or Zoom. And you get great audio quality and you get great video quality. So this makes it great for calls because now I can finally do a freaking interview with someone, 2-up, and it looks great. Okay, there you go. Now someplace in here, I was someplace. Platform, Trevor, I think it was referring to the Canon Rebel SL3 other than something else. And hopefully you're talking to me. Oh yeah, that's a nice camera. That's okay. I wouldn't buy it at this time. I wouldn't buy it at this time. Oh yeah, Curtis, cool. My friend is getting into streaming, but he's using Ecamm. Ecamm's great. It must be a Mac. It's a Mac only. Ecamm Live? Is that what you're talking about? Curtis uses it. It's great. It's freaking great. Curtis, it depends on your workflow and your setup. I wouldn't normally do this because they're like interacting, but when Curtis is talking, I get to learn things. If you vlog, no, I wouldn't add a mix pre, too cumbersome. The mix 3 is probably better suited for situations where you have an XLR mic. Yeah. And then you also need to decide whether to run the audio from the mix pre directly to camera or sync in post. Absolutely. I run this into the pre, into the camera, and it's fed here. Or you sync it in post. Yeah. If you're doing a live stream thing, we won't get into it, but there's all this offset stuff that you have to do. And anyway, we'll let Curtis talk about audio quality, mix pre, limiters, analog limiters to prevent clipping, blah, blah. Yep. That's where I'm getting confused. I'm just started and wanting to understand the basics. It's where I think it's best to stick with the D3 Pro. At some point, if you find that D3 Pro isn't working for a situation, then have a look at the Mix Pro. Absolutely. Here's what I did, and here's what I suggest you do. In fact, hold on. No, I won't do it. It's going to take too much time. Before I bought my Mix Pro 3, it was $697 or $640 or something like that. I bought 2 of them. I talked to Curtis. I saw these guys at the show, and I went to Curtis's school. I'll put a link on below this video, and I took his Mix Pro 3 course. It's like $39. So here I am. I'm watching all this. I'm looking all through it, and it was hard for me to grok at first because I didn't have the object. And I went through the Mix Pro 3 course, and I went, oh, okay, wow. I get what's going on, and I see what's happening. And then I decided to buy the Mix Pro 3. Go take the course first, and then you'll be like, wow. And if you don't want to buy it, instead of spending $697, you spent $39. That's what I'm just saying. I'm making the video on green screen and just compositing you in. As my earlier comment. She's nuts. Yep. Keith Norris, thanks, Curtis. That's why I bought the D3. Great mic. D3 is a great freaking mic, dude. It really is. Still working on the comment thing. Where did I go? Captain Jack. iSpike is beyond live streaming in the studio. He's now live streaming on his trike. I know. I know. He is doing a show. The cool thing about him is when you see him in his show, that is iSpike. He's not like, oh, I'm going to be an on-screen person. And he's not doing that. Like what you see is what you get, but he's just really cool, really awesome. And he's doing a show. And he's doing crazy stuff. Keith Norris, depends on your workflow and setup. If you vlog now. Okay, yeah, we're doing that. More Curtis. And then you need to decide. Yep, Curtis. That's awesome. Thank you, Curtis, for answering these people's questions. Because they would ask me and I'd say, well, you know what you do? If you take the Mix Pro 3 and you go ask Curtis, you'll be good. That's where I think it's best. Yep, D3 Pro, we did that. Thanks, that's what I thought. Is there something like the Zoom H1 that records a safety track? Is there something like the Zoom H1 that records a safety track? By the way, Kev, the quality of encoding on your stream here is top notch. Yeah, man, I was just saying earlier, it went up to 4K. Now, I set this to, with my stream and the way OBS is all set up, he had me set it to just a try. I think it was 8193 or 9,000 kilobits. And when I logged into YouTube and I started this stream, it was like, hey, it seems awful low for all the equipment in your stream. You should upload it. What you should do is you should run your stream at, I think it said 28,000. I'm like, I'm not changing it now, but that's pretty cool. Thanks, man. The Canon XF705 looks impressive. It's like everything I'd want on a camera, but it's a fixed zoom lens, smaller sensor camera. They need that, but 35 full frame interchangeable mount. Oh yeah. Yeah. If you want a full frame sensor with an interchangeable mount, you're basically talking a cinema camera. More or less. I mean, you're talking big bucks. Big bucks. I mean, you go to a full frame sensor and you start going to interchangeable lenses. You're talking a cinema camera. I mean, there are exceptions, but you're talking big bucks. Bigger bucks. But of course, the XF705, it shoots in 4K. It has a 1-inch sensor. Something like that. Let me look. Yeah, but you're talking $5,000 or $6,000. Sure, go for it. If I was going to drop $5,000 or $6,000 right now on some sort of camera like that with an interchangeable lens, I would get the recent price drop, and I would get a Canon C200. If you got more bucks, I'd get maybe a C300. I'd get a C200 in a heartbeat. I think Curtis has that. It's a beautiful camera. It has awesome autofocus. It shoots 4K, and it's great, and it's painless. If I were going to spend $6,000 or $7,000, I would buy the C200 before I bought the XF705 in a freaking heartbeat. That's just me. I'm not giving that to you as a suggestion. I'm just suggesting it. Okay, cool. What else we got here? XA35 is just 1080p. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with 1080p, guys. I mean, come on. If you're out shooting cinematic waterfalls and stuff and you want to get all the pixels and everything else, okay, cool. But there's nothing wrong with 1080. If you have a good camera, then you have a great lens, you can shoot 1080. I've been shooting 1080 for 8 years. No one has come with my Canon 5D Mark III, which I bought 7 years ago. It shoots 1080. It has something that's called all eye, which means it doesn't chop. Like every frame is every frame. And I just throw some good glass on there. And no one's come to me, even when I upscale it to 4K like I'm doing now, no one's come to me and gone, whoa, your 4K looks stupid. They've said my color correction sucks, like my last video where I screwed it all up and wasn't paying attention. I was all blown out. They've said my audio sucks. They've never said, oh, well, you know, your 4K looks off. So there's nothing wrong with 1080. Hell, you could buy a Canon C100 Mark II and get away with it. They're great cameras. This is like when we went from 720 to 1080 many years ago. People are shooting 720, like, oh, you got to shoot 1080. Some people use 1080 and nobody cared. You can't tell. I mean, when you click on the thing and you're like, oh, I see. The stream is going and this is going at 1080, is it? And you didn't do 4K? How gauche? I mean, if you're creating such good videos and they look so good and they're so cinematic, get a good freaking microphone and a good freaking recorder, get yourself off the back wall, and just throw a stupid little $9 can light with a little blue 3-watt light in there that you can touch it. It doesn't even burn your hand. Throw some lights up, get off the back wall, stick your 1080 up there, shoot your stuff, even with your iPhone. And when you're really, really good at that, then go buy your 4K camera. If you're already good, go buy your 4K camera. I'm just saying. Yeah. Curtis, she's nuts. I'm trying to remember if the H1N has a safety track? The H1N. No way. The H1N. No, there's no way it has a safety track. If it does, I'd be surprised. I have the old H1s. Are you talking about the H4N? No, you're talking about the H1. The little dude, the handy dude. No, you're talking about something else. Correct me if I'm wrong. Welcome to live chat. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you doing that. Shiz Nuts, unfortunately not, hence the question. I don't know what that's Clean Air Films, the Tascam DR10L records its safety track. Yes, it does. I think Caleb hacked himself something together a couple of years ago that drops like the hotness on one channel. I don't even know what that means. The Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and NTG have that. Not a recorder, of course, but an option. And then, what happened there? I hate when it does that. Then Trevor said something really nasty and retracted it. I always say that in every live stream. I'm joking. I need to see. Let me press my cool little button. Where is it? Okay. Cheers. M8s. Hi, Spiker. You have learned well, Kevin. I love OBS and all that it can. Massive learning curve, but when you work it out, bam, it's a whole new world. Yeah. I don't know if they show that movie in Australia, but it's Disney, so everybody should have done it. Thanks, man. Excellent. Awesome. Can't type, lol. Well, welcome to the club. More Corfy. Absolutely, man. Yeah, Ecamm Live, X-Men. Yeah, I've seen Curtis use that. It's really neat. If you have a Mac, I think it's paid for. It's pretty cool. You know, it pops up. You don't have to do the scroll. It pops up. You can select things, and Curtis could say more about that. But for a Mac, if I was into live streaming, which we're going to go into to finish this off, if I was into live streaming, I wanted to live stream, and I had a Mac, I would absolutely, hands down, just go with Ecamm Live because it's easy. You can live stream. You can show the live stream. You can show these comments and everything else. You want to get into like the nuts and bolts, yeah, you can go with OBS too. Had some issues with Skype. Yeah, I don't anymore. When I had this technical guru from iSpike's technical guru, what can't tell you about or mention his name, it's a lot of proprietary stuff. I had Skype on my Windows 10 system. And then he went in and he was like, this thing isn't working and everything else. And he deinstalled Skype and he went to Skype, the place Skype, and downloaded the software instead of the whatever this crappy thing that Microsoft puts in there. And then it all worked and it looked great and it sounded great. Well, he did some tweaks and preferences. So go get the real Skype, like lose the stupid, if you have it, lose the stupid I installed Skype. Maybe you're on a Mac and I'm just blah, blah. iSpike, Basic, Filmmaker, Live, lurking. Yeah, that's what I do on your channel, man, is I lurk. Whoa, didn't realize there was a 4K option. Yeah, looking crisp. Thanks, man. Captain Jack, have you seen Confinity's new Mavo Edge cinema camera that can shoot for... I have seen it. I've heard it talked about. I have. I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to see. Mavo Edge. 8K. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know. I haven't researched it a lot. I'm not sure what it does yet. Curtis, and the C200 is $1,000 less today than when I bought it. Yeah, absolutely, Curtis. I almost want to buy the C200, but then they're like, oh, we're coming out with a Canon EOS R5, and these are dropping. And I'm like, they're dropping, which means I'm going to go buy a C200 because it's $1,000 less. And then they're going to come out with the C200 Mark II with, you know, it's going to like make espressos or something. So, but I did this with the A10 Mini Pro. I waited, or the A10 Mini, I waited. I was like, ham, ha, and then I couldn't get it forever. Anyway, I think he needs one of these live streams. iSpike, when you talk, look at the... Oh, yeah, he's trying to... iSpike is helping me a little bit. I'm really good at making videos. Opinions vary. I'm really good at doing stuff and B-roll and all that stuff. Opinions vary. On what iSpike is talking about, which you can't see because I can't scroll down anymore. Need to fix that. When you are talking in a live stream, especially, and I do this because I'm looking here and I'm looking here. When you're talking in a live stream, you should be talking to the people that are watching you and not the screen like that, or not looking over there like that. And that's what he's talking about. That's a great tip. I'm practicing. If you want to practice something, when you talk, if your mouth is moving, you should be looking at the camera. If your mouth is moving over here, you should switch to something else. You know, I got this particular, the A10 Mini, and it's sitting right here. And now I'm not looking at the camera, yada, yada, yada. I'm talking and everything else. And now I'm going to talk again, and then I switch back to here. Great advice. 8K Cine camera. Yeah. I can't scroll anymore. I'm still working on this comment thing, so sorry about that. We're almost done. I think it's going to be a camera. I think it's going to, this is Captain Jack. I think it's going to be the camera to get that is way cheaper than the Red Area. I think so. And it's carbon fiber. I think so. iSpike. YouTube favor 4K. Yeah. I've heard that talked about. iSpike asked that. I need to fix this. I can't scroll down anymore and show the cool little comment down here. I'm done. So unless more comments are made, I can't do that. I've tested this. I got to quit testing my channel and make more videos. I got to quit doing these tests, but I love doing this because then I can share it with people like, oh, look what I found out. For some reason, when you get to a certain number of subscribers, and I don't know what it is, YouTube encodes your video differently and better. Bet you didn't know that. Also, when you upload to 1080p, from what I can tell, don't take my word for this. Oh, yeah, I know. Yes, show me the data. From what I can tell over the past, you'll notice I was doing 4K, and then I went to 1080 to couple last month. YouTube seems to favor it and promote them, and seem to get more views when I do 4K videos. And again, taking a 1080 video and editing it in 4K and then rendering it out in 4K, most people don't notice. Hey, look, here comes that comment. Oh, yeah. YouTube, I think it's going to be the camera. There we are. And carbon fiber, not sure. Yeah, I can't scroll. Next one is Captain Jack. I have the Zoom F1 LP recorder, and audio might sound terrible on the lapel mic. I don't know. I don't have that, man. I really don't. I need to figure out how to get my computer up here and things. And this whole thing that I'm doing right here and looking over here, I have a 40-inch HD TV that I'm actually going to put behind that camera, so then I can just sit here and talk to people, and I can read the comments, and I can see all the stuff, and I can do all my switching and stuff. So it was an older TV. I got a big curved one because I got tired of the 40-inch old tech, 1920 by 1080. Who cares? I'm going to put it behind that camera, and that way I can sit there and I can look at the comments, and I can read the comments, and I can talk to you instead of doing this. Hey, what's going on? Which is not... doesn't make people friendly. I was also going to put a camera over here, but I decided what I need is I need the thing over here and not over here. We learn a lot from each other, iSpike. Absolutely, dude. We learn totally. So at the end of the stream, you know what I learned last week? At the end of the stream, what you say is hooroo, and hooroo means see you later. And I saw hooroo, and I assumed from all these guys when I was hanging out and watching it and lurking in his trap, and I saw the hooroo, and I saw the people using it, and so I thought, you know, I started talking to other people. I was telling iSpike this, and I would come in and I'd say like hooroo to people, and they were kind of confused. Well, it's because it means goodbye. So it's like you're walking in the room and saying goodbye, nice seeing you. I'm trying to learn the Australian kind of thing because it's different than here. I think I told you the story where like in England, like I made a video, and you know, like when you're like, oh, and I got to go fast, and I got to do this, and get my water and drink it. Well, I titled a video about something like that, and I didn't know at the time, and I said it was spastic, and somebody in England came back and went, no, spastic is like nasty over there. I don't know if it is now over here, but over there it's like it's bad. Like these are the people over in England. These are the people that call each other the there's a word that starts with C, and if you used it here, like if I used the C word with my wife, she would beat me down into the center of the earth and then kill me and then make me come back alive and then beat me down into the center of the earth. From those people, spastic. So I had to change the title. So I'm trying to learn this Australian, like what's cool, what's not. What was it? G'day, mate. I like sorted that all with iSpike. G'day, mate. You can say that to girls. You can say that to guys. You can say that to kids. Just don't say that to moms. iSpike. I can't scroll my stuff down. It would be an honor to have you come visit. Absolutely. I have always wanted to go to Australia. Absolutely want to go. I would come visit. We could like do this secret rendezvous thing because it's like me. I don't want people knowing where I live. Not that anybody's going to do anything wrong. Because the karate done. Ha! Shiznuts. Because I think in the search filter, people can filter out certain quality uploads. I haven't looked into that. That's a great, interesting thing. If I had this chat thing fixed, you'd be seeing these comments. iSpike, worth it or not? Thanks, man. I have already a member of your family. There's something really weird conversation going on here. I'm not going to join in on that one. I'm joking. Shiznuts, like, I want to wow myself with a new monitor. I'll search for something like 4K demo HDR and try it, and I could filter out like videos from 10 years ago in the 240p. Only that, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Captain Jack. I can't scroll down and show you the comments anymore. I'm going to be fixing this. Not so much in the comments. I told you the whole story of why I'm doing this, and it's not for this. Oh, I got stuff to tell you about the university. Not the sales thing, but people who are enrolled in courses and stuff. That's really cool in a minute. Captain Jack says, drill a big hole in the middle of your large monitor and put your video camera in the hole. Then you can look at your screen in the camera. What? That's freaking awesome, dude. Who would have thought? I was watching this movie the other day. Somebody turned me onto it. I used to like Battlestar Galactica. I still love Battlestar Galactica, and they told me go watch this, and now I'm hooked. My wife and I are hooked on it. It's on Amazon. It's just space stuff and all that stuff. And there was this older black guy who was like a leader and stuff, and he was sitting there addressing the nation, and so he like went like this, and it brought up this big screen showing himself to himself as things were scrolling by with a tele. I was like, I want that. Walter, being Detroit, when I was in Scotland, I asked for a napkin in a restaurant. Really? You don't do that, huh? Captain Jack laughing my aunt off. Stephen Ewert, just don't be a drongo. See, here we go. Now I got to go Google that. Drongo. It's a bird. Oh, what is Drongo Urban Dictionary? A stupid or slow-witted person, a simpleton. Drongo. See there? He talks about, Robert Shaver, he talks about on-camera authenticity. Me? You? Other people? Somebody? Sorry. Hi, Robert. Thanks for joining us, man. I Spike, Captain Jack, 8K is awesome, but as a hobby dude, I can't afford a camera good enough to film in 8K. Best for me is Panasonic GH5. It's Panasonic. I keep hearing people talk about it. It's cool. That's a teleprompter. Smartphones soon will have under-display cameras. Yep. And I Spike, you're doing a great job, man. I got to get ready for live. Cheers, my friend. And Who and Roommate. Cool. We got to the end. I'm not quite sure how long we've been going. I am going to check. I'm sure there's something somewhere that tells me that. I think it's been well over an hour, maybe an hour and 34 minutes. Look at that. Look at my Google sitting there. Look at my Google sitting there on the chat. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that helped. I hope that made sense. I hope my whatever I was going to go through and have a discussion on them, whether you should live stream or not and why. Too long. I really hope that... let's go over here and see if I can get there. Oh yeah, that button works. I pressed the button and it brought up the live stream page that I don't need to watch. So I can end the stream so I don't have to be streaming here, but using the iPad. I hope that helped. I hope that made sense to you. I hope that you got something out of it. You can always send me comments. You can always send me emails. Remember, this is for university people or anybody else who wants to drop in. Oh, I forgot. The new YouTube Academy course and some of the other higher-end courses, I am going to start either a Skype or a Zoom session just for them. This is too public. I want to be able to start a Zoom or a Skype session. I haven't decided right now. I can do both. Where just the new YouTube Academy students can come in and talk about YouTube and be open, and it's not recorded, and people don't see it later, and they can say, oh yeah, hey, you know, I'm making this up. Yeah, dude, I'm John Travolta, or I'm, who's another, Tom Cruise, or, you know, whoever, famous person. I can come into this area and I can be safe and we can talk about, you know, hey, I don't understand, like, what button do I click, or how do I do this, or what do you do with this analytics? And we can get together for an hour or half an hour in that meeting room with everybody else. We can talk about YouTube, and we can talk about what you're doing. We can talk about how to grow your channel, what things you're running into and everything else. And then I can help you out, like with the affiliate link thing. We can go, hey, I don't know how to start this. Where do I go? We can have a real live discussion, and I can ask you, well, are you trying to make money at this? Or, well, no, I'm like trying to piss off my wife's mom. She'll get out of the house. Cool. Well, then we can cover that. But more intimate and open, other than this live thing. Anyway, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be setting that up probably next week. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, now that I'm getting my process down, you'll notice a few videos. I'm getting my process down on what I need to do. You're going to see some videos hitting like probably every 3 days for the next month or two. And you're going to see some of these courses getting tied up quickly. which I've been working on. So stuff's going to move fast. I've just been getting everything so I can produce. Remember this? Everything so I can produce. Go in there. I don't even have to come over here, hit record, take my little switcher, record my episode over there, record my B-roll over here, record my screenshots if needed over here. Boom, bam, bam, bring it in. Got the Mix Pre 3. Edit, put in my titles, various things like that. Throw a multi-band compressor on my voice, chop, edit, cut, begin, end stuff, post. Next video. I'm really excited about that. Okay, let's see what else we got. I think we're done. Oh my gosh, except for all these people who commented. Smartphones, iSpike, you're doing a great job. So Canon responded to a comment I made about lack of software for connecting most cameras. Outback Outlaw, hey man, hello sir, awesome. Hopefully you didn't miss that I'm going to be putting together some YouTube Academy Skype things so we can get all personal and stuff. Cheers, awesome, great stream. Thank you, Ken. Thank you for joining me, Brett. Thank you, Shiznuts. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Outback. Thank you, Curtis. Thanks, Robert and Steven and Captain Jack and Shiznuts and Whether or Not and J Brooks 12 Web. Sorry, dude. Didn't see you and welcome you. X-Men Lay. iSpike, thank you. I know you're busy, dude. Clean Air Films, thanks, dude, for joining us. Curtis, definitely. Thank you, Keith. I could just go on forever. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to cut the live stream down because I know it's probably taken too long because I've been streaming for quite some time. Anyway, thanks very much. As always, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for liking them and commenting them. Thank you for your humor. Thank you for the university and your donations and your purchasing courses and your passing it along. Like that's what keeps me alive. That sounds weird. That's what makes me do what I want to do. And I really appreciate it. You guys are the shiznuts. See what I did there? Anyway, thanks again. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time.